I will confess I'm fairly new to you. Since I found out that you were playing at PAX, I was like, right, got to get into this. And very quickly started really enjoying a lot of the things. In fact, Code Monkey got me through a really horrible meeting I had the other week with my manager. I was just the whole time thinking, maybe you want to write goddamn login page yourself. But, okay, enough of my massaging you. Here's a good question. What do you say to the idea that nerdcore is unique as a genre in that it's almost impossible to fake or manufacture it?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know why that is, but I think it's certainly true. It's there's a kind of what I love about the concept of nerdcore is that it's sort of this intersection of two things, and you have cred, street cred, and geekery, and this kind of geek cred, and it's a very real thing, and it's I think geeks have great bullshit detectors. I mean, anybody who's really involved with a niche and a kind of cultural phenomenon like that can recognize when somebody is trying to use it for in a false way for some other kind of gain, and so I think it's very true that it's frequently a very jokey kind of music, but it also has an earnest quality to it that I think comes from a true place.
Yeah. Okay, now I did want to ask about, because Edie covered the first part of your career, how did the whole Valve thing go down? Because, like I said, I'm fairly new to, I don't know much about you.
Yeah.
So.
That was, I was doing a show in Seattle, and it was pretty early on, I guess, and some people came up to me after the show and said hello and said that they were from Valve. And I was thrilled because I had been a fan of their games for a long time, and they said, hey, they were just fans, they'd just come to the show, but Kim Swift, actually, who happened to be the lead of the team for Portal, said, would you ever be interested in writing music for Valve? She said, I don't know what it would be or what you'd work on, but does that hold any interest? And I was like, yeah, and so then I went to visit them in their offices, and we talked about a number of things. I met a few different people, and it wasn't clear what we were going to do together. But then, I got to play an early version of Portal, and I met the writer who had created this incredible voice and character, GLaDOS, and which I immediately connected with. And he, having heard some of my songs, said, "Oh, you know what? We're writing about the same character." And so why don't he said, I've always wanted to do like a musical theater number in the middle of a video game. That sounds amazing. Let's definitely do that. And of course, it didn't end up being in the middle, but it essentially is a musical theater number.
But it is the cherry on top of the cake.
It is, if you will. Yes, yeah. Yes. And it was funny. I wrote the song, and we talked a lot about GLaDOS and who she was and how she would be feeling at this point, and then I wrote the song, and he had very, very few suggestions for changes, and then I finished it, and didn't hear a lot about it until the game. I actually didn't see the finished version until it was posted on YouTube by somebody. And
really? So you didn't get the...
No, I didn't get to see the... I mean, I knew sort of what they were planning, but I didn't get to see how it had finally finished up. And so when I watched it on YouTube, I was like, oh, that's actually that's remarkably effective. And I think they set it up very nicely in the end. And of course, it's just a terrific game and very well written. And I think I'm very proud to be a part of that.
How often have you played your own songs on Guitar Hero? Or, on Rock Band? Do you ever do that? Do you have to play your own Rock Band pack?
Can you 100% expert
no.
Skull Crusher Mountain?
No, I know that, because when you were at GDC 2 years ago, you got 98% on your own song.
Yeah, no, I'm not a great Rock Band player, and it's true.
You aren't?
No, It's actually a little different from guitar. It's not exactly like playing guitar.
It's not?
It's not. I know. It's weird, right? Damn it. It feels the same, kind of, but it's not.
Speaking of which, Ari, Your Brains should be out by the time people hear this.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Let's go realize it's the PAX 09 pack.
That's right.
Yay.
Which should also have, if you want to pimp the other guy's music, I don't know what else.
Frontalot, MC Frontalot, yeah. Yeah, and somebody else too, right? I don't know who else.
Freeze Pump?
Yeah, Freeze Pop's putting something in there. I don't know which song.
Okay, go check it out.
Yeah.
Final question, actually. The one pain in the arse thing about your music is it's really hard to get regular people to understand it. It's about a passive-aggressive robot who's trying to control this particular... And it's so... Regarding the whole idea that nerdcore can't be faked,
Yeah.
it also can't be mass-marketed. So where, ideally, do you see your career going?
Kind of here. I mean, it's pretty great the way it is. I'm making a living by writing and singing music, which is sort of a miracle to me still. And I suppose it would be nice to be filthy rich and never have to worry about money ever again, but it doesn't feel like a crucial part of the plan,
Well, actually, aren't you at a level at this point where people, or even record labels, have come up to you and said, would you like a contract? I can't imagine you wouldn't be quite at that stage yet.
Well, it's come up a couple of times. Nothing. Yeah, there have been a couple of situations like that, but it just has never really made sense to me financially. For exactly that reason, is I don't know that there's a mass market appeal for what I do, and that would be the reason to go with a label. I think is that they have access to that mass market and they can make that happen. I do still think that they have the power to do that, but I have such a direct channel to a large enough fan base to support me that without being certain that doing something like that would cause a huge expansion in the Jonathan Coulton empire, it doesn't.
You're allowed to do that. I'm not. Right. I'm sorry.
You're right. It's not an empire. It's not an empire.
It is if you believe it.
You're right. But to make it work, it would have to get that much bigger, and I just don't know if that's in the cards. Maybe someday. I don't know. I think there's a lot of the stuff that I do does have a sort of a level at which you can appreciate it without knowing that it's about a passive-aggressive robot. But you are missing out on a lot if you don't know that it's about a passive-aggressive robot.
There's a lot of subtext. Obviously, Mr. Fancy Pants, it's much more of a straightforward... Although, interestingly enough, it really does contextualise a lot of your music when you must have seen the Warcraft videos on YouTube. There's many, many different versions of a lot of your songs, and it's great to have like a little bit of imagery in there just to kind of stick it in your head, and it's brilliant.
No, those videos are great. That's a guy named Spiff. That's not his real name, but he's made 15 of those World of Warcraft videos, and he's a bit of a wizard with it. I don't know how he does it technically. Even he's pretty amazing, and also he takes whatever story is in the song and expands on it, and I think he's really great. But I agree. It's nice. It's nice for me too to see them contextualized in that way.
I also saw a really good Office-related one with Jim as Code Monkey, which really fits.
Right.
I mean, you must have written Code Monkey before then?
I don't remember. Of course, I had seen the British version of The Office before. So I don't know.
But it fits very well.
But that sort of office experience is one of the reasons The Office works so well.
And indeed Office Space.
Yeah, and Office Space. It's a universal experience. We all know what that's like. It's the same for everyone.
Which is possibly why some of your songs, not necessarily ones about passive-aggressive robots that are very specific, might have more of a mass market appeal. Jonathan, it has been an absolute pleasure, sir.
Well, thank you.